So Space Patrol Luluco is another bad attempt at making the same joke and hoping after the millionth time it would be funnier. It's another trigger animation that references old series to show how uncreative they have been lately, with what type of stories they are able to create as a studio. To start off this ridiculous plot, we have Luluco as a 13-year-old middle school student who lives with her father in a city called Ogikubo. But after accidentally freezing her father, she is then forced to become a Space Patrol officer, where she will protect the city from space criminals. She is later teamed up with Nova, a quiet transfer student, and Midori, who joined the Space Patrol to make up for her crimes. Now this series may sound grand and spectacular, I know, but you have to realize that this show is roughly 3 to 4 minutes long each episode, so things happen really fast to the point where you know hijinks will ensue almost every second to hopefully keep you watching. And to be honest, if I wasn't a Trigger fan, I probably wouldn't have been watching, because the show is just dumb, honestly. The problem I have with Studio Trigger is how long do they think people would stick around? They continue to use the same jokes and character archetypes to the point where you can basically put Simone in a dress and then honestly you couldn't tell the difference in character from him in Luluco. They both have difficulties telling people how they feel. They both reek of underdog status to the highest degree. They both eventually have to rediscover who they are from someone in the afterlife. And they both become confident and strong characters in the end, which also reminds me of another character as a matter of fact. Then there are the cameos of the other universes in Trigger's past productions. There was the blatant Kill la Kill reference with the huge planet wrapped in red thread, and a villain that referenced the covers in Kill la Kill with the ability to control the minds of living beings. Then there's the Little Witch Academia cameo, which felt like the most forced out of all cameos. Then there's a cameo of their short animation, Sex and Violence with Mach Speed, which looked the most impressive, to be honest. Then there's the Inferno Cop cameo, which is the most uninteresting. But to be fair, that's what I would call Space Patrol Luluco as a series, uninteresting. So since I have explained 80% of the series already, if you can even call the most disappointing 30 to 45 minutes of your life a series, then I might as well explain the rest. So shortly after the Space Patrol Luluco officers finally recapture their stolen city, Luluco is then portrayed by her quiet pretty boy comrade that she had a crush on, and she then loses her heart to the evil Black Holian. We then figure out that pretty boy over there is an alien that feels nothing, and that the reason that the evil Black Holian wanted her heart was that it was the most invaluable piece of junk in the universe. Wrecked. So she dies and gets a pep talk from Inferno Cop and is now alive again to prove her love to Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy gains emotions from her powerful emotions, and then they fight the evil Black Holian. And just like any other tragic love story, Pretty Boy sacrifices himself to save the universe, and Luluco must travel the galaxy to find her true love again. And just to remind you, she's only 13. To be honest, I don't hate the series, but it is the biggest disappointment of 2016 for me personally. It's painful to see Studio Trigger going down this slippery slope, when most of their creativity is based on how they can put a new spin on the same concepts as the past shows they have made. The only example of a show that seemed like Trigger was trying something truly different was Keys and Iver, but that show was too emotional and boring. I just want to see Trigger take more risks like Keys and Iver, exploring new concepts and character archetypes they haven't done yet. Can't be a cake shop with only one type of frosting. I appreciate variety sometimes.